All right, we're back. Hello, everybody, and what a great day we've had. Thank you for your attendance. We couldn't do these things unless you showed up. We wouldn't do it. For our audience, thank you for being here. This is the last session of the day, and we'll say it, I was going to say best for last, but that wouldn't be fair to everybody else. But definitely a different one, and here's why. So I've known the folks at Sentient for a long time. And they're a really good example of a company that started as a service organization, primarily focused on non-conscious measurement, and started building their own tools, and then have scaled those from a technology standpoint. So they're a company that now is kind of a hybrid, part service, part technology, and that technology focused on various and sundry techniques to get to emotions, right? To understand behavioral science in a scalable way. So a little different than what you've seen today so far. And some really just smart and great people, which is a segue to introduce two of those smart and great people that are going to be demonstrating what Sentient has put together. So Sylvia and Jeremiah, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, and it's yours.
The, esteemed introduction.
Yeah, no worries. All right, I'm going to go away. You guys take it away.
Great. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We have some slides to show. There we go. Awesome. I'm Sylvia Kinnicutt. I am the Director of Subtext Operations here at Sentient Decision Science. And I'm joined with Jeremiah Messer, who is our subtext storyteller. And he will be telling us a good story in a little while about one of the most talked about ads from the Super Bowl this past week. So just before we get to that, I'd like to introduce you to our tool called RAPID Subtext. There we go. So RAPID Subtext is our newest automated tool for analyzing ad effectiveness. And in order to analyze ad effectiveness, what we need to understand is how well the ad engages our audience and influences our audience. We've seen that the most successful ads are emotionally engaging, taking the viewers on an emotional story about the brand. But they also influence our viewers. We want people to come away from an ad feeling positive about a brand, getting some emotional lift, and having that carry over to the brand and associations with the brand. So RAPID Subtext enables us to measure engagement and influence using automated behavioral science. So we've put together two of our most powerful tools available to us at Sentient and given them to you in an automated fashion. So Sentient Expression is our facial action coding platform. And with Sentient Expression, we can measure the moment-by-moment emotional experience that your viewers are having while watching the ad in our survey. And we're combining that with Sentient Prime. So we'll be measuring the implicit associations that the viewers are having with your brand before having seen the ad and then after having seen the ad, so that we can see what impact that ad experience had on people's brand perceptions. So with RAPID Subtext, you'll be able to see this insight in this RAPID dashboard within 24 hours. In this video, we'll give you a little preview of what you'll see in the dashboard. You'll see moment-by-moment facial action coding, which reveals the emotional journey that your viewers have gone on while they were watching the time series course of this ad. And you'll be able to filter that journey by different outcomes, both positive and maybe negative outcomes, so that you can pinpoint the exact points within the ad that are causing those positive or negative outcomes, which are an increase in emotional brand appeal or maybe a decrease in emotional brand appeal or a change in a brand attribute. So Jeremiah will show you exactly how you interpret and analyze this type of in a couple minutes. is all automated and all available for you to create yourself. And I just want to show you how easy it is to set up a RAPID study. All you need to do on our website is to upload your brand logo, drop in your creative video. This could be, a TV type commercial video or a digital ad. Select your audience, select your attributes. And once you order your study, it'll go out into field and start collecting data right away. And I can show you quickly just how easy it is to set up one of these studies. Do we see that?
Yep.
So this is the platform. Great. This is the platform where you would build your own RAPID study. And I've already preloaded here a couple logos. All you just need to do is pull in your brand logo and 2 competitor logos. Upload your ad video here. You have a couple of options on which insights you would like to include in your design. The most power you'll get from the platinum version. You'll get both the engagement and influence measures and how they interact together. And then we just plug in the brand name and choose 6 attributes that you'd like to test for your brand. And then off you go, you choose your audience, confirm. It automatically selects a GenPop profile, but that can be changed. And off you go. The study goes right into field, and it's about a 10-minute study for the participants to take. They will need access to their webcam in order to capture their facial coding data. And this little video will show you just what they will see. So they'll start with a little bit of instructions about facial coding and implicit testing. They'll do a few demographic profile questions. And then it will take them right into Sentient Prime. Well, they'll start with an emotional appeal exercise to measure the emotional appeal with your brand. I'll turn that sound off. So it just takes a couple minutes to go through these exercises. They'll do a brand appeal exercise, and they'll do an attribute association exercise with the brand before going in and watching the creative. This is an example of TikTok and some attributes we selected there. This is the TikTok creative that we also tested. They would be watching this in the facial action coding platform while the system is capturing their emotional reactions via their webcam. Then they go back into repeating the same exercises that they had just completed to see the change in their implicit emotional appeal with the brand and their brand attributes after having seen the creative. And with that, we would like to show you the results of our test from Jeremiah.
Hi, everybody. Thanks a lot, Sylvia. That I hope it's clear how easy it is to use the platform. Now I'm going to talk about how powerful the platform is. Clearly, we have the extremely powerful metrics related to implicit emotional appeal of ads, which we consider vital to the success of evaluating the quality of an execution, because we're finding out what people really feel, and instead of just asking them routine survey style questions about their points of view. But when a study is finished, much of the data that you have access to will be available right on our RAPID Subtext dashboard here. And in order to illustrate the power of these analytical tools, we decided we would run the Amazon Alexa ad, which aired during the Super Bowl just this last weekend. And to refresh everybody, I'm going to play the video now so you can understand what the test stimuli was. As you're watching, think about what sort of results you might expect to come out of an ad like this.
It's just flawless, isn't it?
I think so.
I mean, I literally couldn't imagine a more beautiful vessel for Alexa to be. inside. Alexa, how many tablespoons are in a cup?
There are 16 tablespoons in a cup.
Babe, food just got here. Why you cooking? Who's that?
Alexa, turn on the sprinklers.
Honey, I already ran the sprinklers. Things are getting way too wet around here.
Alexa, dim the lights.
Alexa, lights on. Alexa, lights on.
Add bath oils to my shopping list.
Alexa, no, don't that.
Read my audiobook.
I was in his hands. I was being changed.
Yeah.
Realized that I was also kissing him.
Honey, I have to use the bathroom around here too.
So I feel like there's definitely a lot going on with this ad. One of the things that, immediately I noticed about it is that it was making a humor play, which is really common at the Super Bowl. I know this year some of the tones varied a little bit due to the pandemic, but still we saw a lot of ads that attempted to raise the profile of a product or a brand through humor. That's definitely at play here. Did they succeed? With rapid subtext, we can find out relatively quickly because one of our key metrics of success is in the implicit emotional appeal of a brand before and after exposure to the ad. That information is available to us right down here. This change in implicit emotional appeal tells us whether or not it worked, and clearly exposure to this ad improved the implicit emotional appeal of the Amazon Echo brand, up from a 101.2 to a 104.3. In our scaling, anything above 100 is a positive implicit impression of a brand. So clear improvement. And what's really fascinating is that improvement came at the expense of competitors, which were, for this test, we used Google Home and Apple HomePod as a competitive set. Both of those brands saw a directional decrease in their appeal following exposure to this ad. So that obviously, knowing you succeed isn't enough. We want to understand what is it that's helping us succeed. And Sentient's rapid subtext allows you to see moment by moment the emotional journey that respondents went on through the ad. And immediately you can see they begin sort of neutral. This is a neutral line here. And then early on during this first section of the ad, which is spent in the actual store looking at the actual Alexa, it kind of shifts a little negative. That's probably more likely due to just people getting acclimated, not necessarily understanding what they're seeing. But very quickly, you begin to see that their emotional journey shifts positively. And what we're looking for, interested in seeing what's happening at these inflection points. What imagery or voiceover or content is appearing on the screen that's making people go from feeling negative to feeling positive. As we scan along, and this is a scrubbable video, so you can see it moment to moment and really see what's happening. We realize that this moment that changes is the moment that Michael B. Jordan appears on screen, and then he speaks, and there's a big spike in emotion. And then you have a moment where the husband comes in, and you see a little bit of a dip again, which is a really fascinating piece of the arc, which is sort of what's going to make the ad successful is this push and pull of tension and release. Throughout the ad, we have these setups, these jokes where you have Michael B. Jordan existing. He's exceptional. He's clearly representative of the main character's wish fulfillment. And then in contrast, you have the much more mundane husband. And as we go, every time we see the fulfillment, we see the rise, and we see the kind of the dip, and then we see the fulfillment again. And of course, like any well-structured ad, there's an increasing escalation in the degree of the wish fulfillment until we reach the climax of the ad. And we cut back to this scene with her in her fantasy in the store while the customers look on, or coworkers look on, a little bit perplexed. But the main takeaway that we have from this arc of experience is that it's structured exactly how we want it to be. We want to see this upward trend of positive emotional experience as we go, because that tells us that we're building a compelling narrative that is drawing in viewers and yielding connection between the narrative and the brand, and hopefully creating positive emotion. Now, obviously, we can also look at outcomes. We can see, because we have a pre-post metric, how different experiences yield different emotional arcs. For example, we evaluated sets of attributes, and one of those attributes was funny. So if respondents found Amazon Alexa as a brand more funny following this ad, how does their experience compare to respondents overall? And we can see that the respondents who found it more funny actually expressed more positive facial expressions at these key moments, at these key laugh moments within the structure of the ad. So not only do we have the outcome evidence that this is successful, we have experimental evidence that confirms the relationship between their experience and their outcome. We see that the people who actually had their perceptions of Amazon changed by ad exposure, these are people who grew to believe that Amazon Alexa was funny or following this ad. We can see the exact moments in the ad that actually led to this transformation. And that's really powerful. It's powerful in a pre-test situation because it can help you identify weaknesses that you may need to resolve. Another really valuable application of this is you could use it to guide edits. This is a 60-second Super Bowl spot. And I imagine at some point, Amazon might very well want to create a 30-second version of this ad, or even a 15-second version of this ad. This information helps them pinpoint those successful moments in this ad that they can edit toward when they refine it for further play in the marketplace. And that, I think, is a pretty fair demonstration of the power of the RAPID results and the RAPID Subtext analytical tool. And I will pass it back to Sylvia.
Thanks, Jer. We'd love to take any questions, hear people's reactions to the tool.
Okay, we've got a couple, so I'll jump in and play moderator here. So, did you compare this to other Super Bowl ads overall, and where would it rank overall, not just in comparison to its competitive set, but all ads?
We did test a few other ads. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we tested quite a few Super Bowl ads. I don't have the actual ranking information on hand, but I do know that one of our key goals every year is to try and use our tools and see how situations like the Super Bowl, how ads played at the Super Bowl succeed or fail. So I believe we've probably tested a majority of the ads that actually ran during the Super Bowl, and a ranking of them and access to that information is going to feed the database, which undergirds RAPID Subtext.
Okay, all right. And how long did it take you to do that? So to run the ads and look at the comparative test.
These ads were run pretty much overnight. Didn't take long at all. So we set it up one afternoon, and we'll be able to look at the data and the results the next day.
Okay, all right, great. So you're leveraging the automation from a sampling standpoint. I'm sure you're plugged into one of the marketplaces to be able to churn it out quickly and take people through and get results right back.
Exactly. Yes. Pure Spectrum has been a great partner
Hey.
for our sample.
Okay. All right. Do you normally see a drop off in emotion at the end of ads, say when a brand is shown, like the one in Alexa? Is there a disengagement process?
Yeah, that's a sort of a standard cognitive response. People are ads. They know that the really interesting content is starting to wrap up. They can feel the timing of it, and then and when the actual branding moment appears, see that decline. I think fortunate Alexa ad, there's such a good integration, the length of it, that they can afford for a dip at that moment. You know, I've story told ads that weren't as successful at brand integration, and it hurts them when people lose focus at the end. And there are certainly ways to try to resolve that. You can tighten at the end so that there's less of a sense that you're already there, and then you catch people before they start to get bored or lose focus. But that's a pretty standard cognitive response to the structure of an ad.
Okay, yeah, that was an interesting ad. As a husband, I had the moments of uncomfortable. You know, like, well, wait a minute, what is she doing? But that's funny. As the husband, and
as a big fan of Michael B. Jordan since The Wire, I kind of was with it the whole way from beginning to end. I thought he was hilarious, and there's a lot of stuff in the ad which I think is really interesting. In production, you know, you hear the way that they mastered his voice. They gave him all of that chest voice. Everybody else's voice is all up here, and you see that there are spikes in the emotion. They're not just key to his appearance on screen, but also to his voice, which I think is really fascinating. Obviously,
white going on. Right?
Yeah, definitely. We also, you know, one of the things that as a full service firm we're capable of doing is providing discrete emotion analysis of ads as well. With our this is not part of RAPID Subtext, but part of our full service subtext, which is the lion's share of the work Sylvia and I do. We can look at discrete emotions, and we can pinpoint, well, what were the positive emotions happening at these moments? And also we can take a look at some of the demographic splits. And I did a little bit of that just for fun with this ad, and I discovered, you know, expressions of happiness are what's driving those movements up as the ad progresses. And obviously, the other thing I discovered is there really is a gendered split in terms of the reaction to this ad.
I'm sure.
And in really interesting moments too, you know, in the final scene where we have her standing at the window in a reverie, the happiness was more predominant in terms of expressed emotion among women than men. So I think it's an ad that's speaking to a certain experience of women. But yeah, there's a lot of power behind the data we were able to collect overnight for this. You know, while we were also collecting data overnight on a lot of the other Super Bowl ads at the same time.
Yeah, that's amazing. It was a good pick for do this demo on. So I've got questions coming in fast and furious, so I'll try not to interject my own point of view on this. How long have you been on the market? So I think the question is, when did you roll out the scalable solution versus the service-based business?
I think it was this summer. Yeah, I think we really recognized the need to get something out there quickly. As Jer mentioned, we do have a full service subtext, which is, you know, a meteor analysis and presentation, like a really deep dive into the ads results. So we adapted that to offer this automated solution that clients could have quickly, and to be able to do their own analysis as well for those people who are interested in doing that. So it's been out for about half a year now, and you know, we look forward to getting it out there more.
Okay, so another question is in context with everybody else we've seen today. Almost everybody has had kind of a DIY, do it with you or do it for you type of structure, right, with various levels of service. And I know that you guys are definitely that do it for you is in the full service piece, right? You do, that consultative equation.
Right.
Somebody's asking about pricing. So if you're looking at the entry point to just price with kind of the DIY solution, what does that price point look like, and what triggers the progression to go from there?
Yep, I think details on pricing are all on the Rapid website, so I would definitely direct people there. And it does, there are different tiers, if you want to look at the full set of analytical power or just part of it, there are different options there. And the full service, that can really depend on the type of target that we're using and the depth of analysis that we're going into. So I definitely encourage people to reach out there. But we can definitely work with clients to really understand how to best measure what it is that they're trying to achieve from their ad creatives.
Okay. Now, what about other aspects of creative? Message testing or other types of creative outputs. So, how do you approach that entire life cycle of creative development and omni-channel campaigns?
Rapid is really designed for a video type campaign for a finished product, I would say. But it could be, we have had clients utilize it for digital campaigns, campaigns that are, Facebook posts and YouTube ads. Those all work equally as well. We would utilize our full subtext product. We also test animatics and boardmatics, so early stage ad testing, where we can really dive in the formative stages of an ad in order to not only tell if it's working, but also how it can be optimized. When we're at that stage, we'll be able to do that. All the way through to final testing, ads like Super Bowl ads, to get a sense for everyone, like what does work the best, what doesn't quite work as effectively as people may have intended.
Okay. Now, Aaron and I chatted a few weeks ago on another event about the massive shift in 2020 that kind of drove success for your business because of the need to understand emotions, right? That drive for empathy. Is that something you continue to experience, that folks are really embracing this type of tool set because they understand that in these times that we live in, understand emotion is more important than maybe we'd given it credit for in the past?
Yeah, I definitely think so. And people are interested in so many aspects of this right now. Also in terms of the sensitivity towards the ad, and we can measure certain attributes to make sure we're not hitting the wrong chord in terms of being sensitive to all audiences and representing diversity, things like that. Those are things that the clients are really interested in making sure that they are catching.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a key component add-on that we can include in Rapid to actually measure social sensitivity, but also, message sensitivity around coping with a pandemic, for example. All of those factors are clearly at play, and I think we really wanted to make that an important and vital aspect of the Rapid platform when we were setting it up.
Okay. And we'll be building some more of those tools into the Rapid platform. We do have the ability to test also the ads' impact on bias towards certain groups of people. So that's also an add-on that's coming to Rapid in the sense of reducing bias or unintentional creation of bias.
Okay. All right, we've got an interesting question kind of getting into the weeds a little bit, that how much is based on Ekman's, or is this the brainchild of Aaron or someone else in terms of developing a whole other model for emotional measurement? And how many emotions are we capturing?
I'm not sure how much is. I believe Ekman's is certainly under fundamental, facial action coding heuristic, which I think informs it. But I'm not sure how much our facial coding guru has deviated from that. And right now we're capturing 8 discrete emotions, I believe. I should double check that to make sure I'm not misspeaking.
Okay. And valence across those 8 emotions. So okay.
Yes.
All right. I want to be conscious of time. Well, unless there's any more questions, I'm not seeing any more come through. Getting a message. Yep, we're up on time. So then that was great. Hey,
goes quickly.
You guys were fantastic. Audience, it does. Audience, you were fantastic. Thanks for sticking with us through this day. Hope that everybody has found great value in exploring all of the wide variety, the spectrum of solutions that are on the market. As Sylvia and Jeremiah just said, here's an example. They're going to keep on innovating. So, all of these companies and many more that didn't make it on stage today, we're in a great period of innovation in the industry. We're going to keep on seeing, everybody expand and create and do lots of cool new stuff. And hopefully this time next year or even before, we'll bring these folks back as well as some more people and see how we've just done all types of great new things. So thank you all for your time. Sylvia and Jeremiah, thank you. All of our panelists today, thank you for being here. And everyone be well and take care.